I remember that it was 2020 when my wife told me that my mother was not well and I became a father to a son. I wanted to go to my hometown to see my mother and my newborn baby, but I couldn't go due to COVID-19. Then I lost my mother. I also couldn't attend my mother's funeral due to COVID-19. My name is Jack. I am from a small town located in Mexico. I belong to a poor family. I moved to New York to earn money for basic necessities to support my family. My father was a farmer and died 5 years ago. After that, my mother was regularly unwell. So, I was the guardian of my family. I got married 2 years ago in 2018. My mother and my wife lived in Mexico because I didn't have enough money to take my family with me to New York. In 2018, after 8 months of marriage, my leave of absence ended and I came back to New York. I get 15 holidays after working 1 year, so usually, after a whole year, I go see my family. Everything was going as usual. I talked to my mom and my wife on video call regularly. My wife was so sweet, she looked after my mom like her own mother. And my mom liked her as well. In June 2019, my wife gave me the good news that we were going to be parents. I felt the feeling of happiness after a long time. Because after my father's passing, I became lost. I was always busy, I had no time for myself and my family. If I gave them time, I couldn't do my job. My mom was very excited and she was showing signs of recovery day by day. As usual, I was planning a visit at the start of 2020 and I was waiting for 2020 impatiently. That was the end of 2019, the last day of December. I was closing the residual of my job and packing my bags. My flight was in February 2020, I had to go home and I was counting the days. Then one day my wife told me that mom was not well. She had liver problems and the doctors were suggesting liver transplant. The fee for surgery was more than my whole life's income, and mom was not ready for the surgery. I knew why she was not ready. But I can't lose my mom at any cost. I could give my life to her. I discussed that whole situation with my boss. He was a very pious and good man. He had a charity and donation organization. That was why I told him about my mother. He didn't take a second to think and told me that he was with me. He handled my mother's case. He connected with my mother's doctors and told them to start the procedure. I had to leave for Mexico after a week, but I don't know how that unknown virus COVID-19 started spreading. My booking for Mexico became canceled due to a complete lockdown in New York. No one could predict the situation before because COVID-19 suddenly attacked like a bomb. I couldn't go to Mexico by road, so I had to wait. But my boss helped me a lot. He's always in my prayers. He helped a lot in that critical situation. He was an angel to me in my worst time. I felt like God sent him when I was helpless. That was the start of March. Both my wife and my mom were admitted to the hospital. Soon I got the news that I became a father to a son. I was happy and sad at the time. My aunt was there in the hospital to look after my mom and my wife. She is a gentle lady and now she lives with us. I was continuously dying to see my mother and I wanted to hold my mom's hands. I love her so much. I lived a part of my life with her and I can't explain my feelings regarding her. My mom's surgery was on the 17th of March, I was praying for her and checking for airline openings. But I couldn't save my mom. I couldn't attend her funeral. How unlucky was I? My aunt told me that during the transplantation surgery, her blood pressure shot up and her death happened due to kidney failure. I couldn't see her face and I couldn't hear her voice one last time. I always think that was the bad luck of my life. I was an unlucky person that I couldn't attend my own mother's funeral because of COVID-19. 2020 was the worst year of my life. COVID-19 took my mother away from me. My mom died in March 2020 and I went home in November 2020 after the complete lockdown. I saw my son for the first time when he was 8 months old. I visited the graveyard and my mom to say I'm sorry to her. I said sorry to her that I couldn't be there when she was taking her last breath. I couldn't forget my mom's death, but my aunt and my wife helped me a lot to overcome the grief. It took nearly 9 months to overcome the pain. I talked to my boss and moved to New York with my family. Because COVID-19 was spreading vigorously and my son was too young. I couldn't take any risk again. Now it's August 2021, my son is 1 year old. My wife is also working in my company. My aunt loves my son a lot because she was his grandma to him. We are growing and on the way to happiness.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story. For more stories like this, please subscribe and turn on notification. If you can like, share or comment, it will be very helpful to me and very much appreciated.